Good afternoon all. Welcome to the lecture of discrete mathematical structure. Screen is visible. Today we will see what is a relation. Let capital A and B, let A and B be two sets. See first definition of relation. If A and B be two sets, then a relation from A to B is a subset of A cross B. Okay, if suppose we have any two sets A and B, then the relation from A to B is nothing but it is a subset of A cross B. If you take any subset of A cross B, that is the product of two sets A and B, then the corresponding set is nothing but the relation from A to B. Symbolically we can write it as R is a relation from A to B if and only if it is a subset of A cross B. That is, R is a subset of A cross B. If R is a subset of A cross B, then it is a relation from A to B. And it is a relation from A to B, then it must be a subset of A cross B. So it will be a if and only if statement. Okay, now let us see one example of a relation. Let I be the set of all integers. That is the number from 0 to plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and so on. Set of all integers. The statement x is less than y, where x and y are any two integers, that is they are belonging to I, determines a relation in I. Finds a relation in I. We denote this relation by R and write it as that is, R is a relation which contains all the ordered pairs x, y, where x is belonging to I, y is belonging to I, and x is less than y. Okay, so what is the relation? If I be any set of integers and we have one statement x is less than y, that is this one, x is less than y, where x and y are any two members of set of integers, and we denote this such type of relation by R and write it in a symbolical form in this way, that is R is equal to the set which contains all the ordered pairs x, y, where x, y, and y are elements of set of integers and x is less than y. Now, if ordered pair xy is an element of R, okay, let R be a relation, and xy is an element of R. Xy is an element of R. Then sometimes it can be written as and be written as x with this symbol r y, and read it read as x is r related to y, are related to y. It means x is related to y with a given relation r. Okay, if we have one relation r and xy be any element of r, then we can write it as a x with this symbol y, and write it as x is r related to y. X is r related to y means x is related to element y under the relation r. Hence we can read it as a x is r related to y. And if xy is not an element of r, not an element of r, then we can write it as, we can write it as x with this symbol y, and and read it as x is not r related to y, are related to y. It means the elements x and y are not related under the relation r. Okay, so in this way we can write the corresponding statements. Okay, now for example, suppose r be a relation which contains all the elements x y such that x is belonging to I, y is belonging to I, and x is less than y is a relation. Then which elements are belonging to this relation r? Okay, now as 2 is less than 3, 2 is less than 3, it means 2 comma 3 is belonging to r, and we can write it as, can write it as 2 is r related to 3. Since here we have to take all the ordered pairs x y, असे एक्स वाय चूज करायचे ज्यामधला माझा जो फर्स्ट एलिमेंट आहे एक्स हा वाय पेक्षा लहान पाहिजे. मी ते काय 2 हा लहान आहे 3 पेक्षा, then the ordered pair 2 3 is belonging to r, since 2 is less than 3, and we can write it as a 2 is r related to 3. But 4 is not less than 3, 4 is not less than 3, therefore 4 comma 3 is not belonging to r, and we can write it as, we can write it as 4 is not r related to 3. 4 is not r related to 3 means it is not closed under the relation r. Since 4 is not less than 3, 4 is greater than 3. But here we have to take all the ordered pairs x y such that x is less than y. But 4 is not less than 3. Therefore, these elements are not related under the given relation r. Therefore, we can write this one as a 4 is not r related to 3. Okay. So this is nothing but the relation. Now let us see what is the domain and range of a relation. Domain and range of a relation. Let capital R be a relation from a set A to B. Let R be a relation from set A to set B. That is, R is a relation from A to B means it is a subset of A cross B. Now the domain D of the relation D of the relation R is the subset, R is the subset or set is the set of all first elements of the ordered pair, the ordered pair which belongs to R, which belongs to R. Symbolically, D is nothing but it contains all the first elements such that X is belonging to capital A, XY is belonging to R for some Y belonging to B. Okay. So what is the domain of a relation R? If R is a relation from A to B, then the domain D of the relation R is the set of all first elements of the ordered pair. That is, if XY is an element of R, that is, any pair of XY is belonging to R, then the first element, the first element in the ordered pair XY is nothing but X. Such a collection of element is nothing but the domain D. Okay. And now the range E is the set of all second elements in the ordered pair which belonging to R. The set of all first elements of the ordered pair which belongs to R is nothing but the domain, and the set of all the second elements in the ordered pair which belongs to R is nothing but the range E. And range E is symbolically nothing but it is all the Y such that Y is belonging to B and all the ordered pairs XY are belonging to R for some X belonging to A. So domain is nothing but the set of all the first elements of the ordered pairs which belonging to the relation R, and range E of the given relation is nothing but the set of all the second elements in the ordered pair which belonging to the relation R. Let us see example and find out the domain and range of a given relation. For example, let capital A be a set which contains the elements 1, 2, 3 and 4, and capital B be a set which contains the elements A, B, C. As we know that if A and B are any two sets, then the any subset of A cross B is nothing but the relation from A to B. So we will define one relation R in which the element 2 is related to A, 4 is related to A, and 4 is related to C. As these are the ordered pairs, then they must be subset of A cross B, and as they are subset of A cross B, then the corresponding set R is a relation from A to B. Now we have to find out the domain and range of this relation R. Now first find out the domain D. Domain D, by definition, domain D is nothing but the set of all the first elements in the given relation R. That is the set of all the first elements of the ordered pairs in the given relation R. These are the three ordered pairs in the given relation R. And now we have to take the first elements in the each of these ordered pairs. First ordered pair is nothing but 2, E, and the first element is nothing but 2. In second ordered pair, the first element will be 4. And in third ordered pair, the first element is again 4. But as set is a well-defined collection of objects, that is, no element is repeated in the set by the definition of set. Therefore, this D will be only a domain for a given relation R, and E which is a relation range of a given relation. The range of a given relation is nothing but the set of all the second elements of the ordered pairs in a given relation R. The second elements are A and C. But as these are the sets, then there is no element will be repeated. Therefore, we have to take the A at once only and C. So this will be a range, and this will be the domain. So in this way, we can find out the range and domain of a given relation if we have provided the sets and the corresponding relation. Okay. Now, next definition: total number of distinct relations from set A to set B. Okay, that is, if suppose we have two sets A and B, then how many number of distinct relations are possible from the set A to B? That is, we have to see. Okay, let A be a set, having m elements, and B be a set having n elements. Let A be a set having m elements, and the set B has n elements. In the Cartesian product of two sets, we have seen if set A has m elements and the set B has n elements, then the product set A cross B has m into n elements. As here we have the set A has m elements and the set B has n elements, then the product set A cross B, the product set A cross B has m into n elements. Okay, and we have seen what is the power set of S. If suppose S be any set, then power set of S is nothing but the family of all the possible subset of a set S. As here suppose S is nothing but A cross B. Therefore, power set of A cross B is nothing but the all the possible distinct subset of A cross B. And if a set S has n elements, then the product set of the power set of S has 2 to the power m into n subsets. As here A cross B has m into n elements, then the power set of A cross B, the power set of A cross B has 2 to the power m into n subsets. Okay, so there are total 2 to the power m into n subsets for A cross B, and we know that every subset of A cross B is a relation from A to B, is a relation from set A to set B. As A cross B has 2 to the power m into n subset, and every subset of A cross B is a relation from A to B, then there are 2 to the power m into n distinct relations from set A to set B. Okay, so if we have two sets A and B having m and n elements, then its product set has m into n elements, and we know that if a set has n elements, then the power set of S has 2 to the power n subset. As A cross B has m into n elements, then its power set has 2 to the power m into n subsets. How many subsets of A cross B are possible? Then 2 to the power m into n subsets are possible, and we know that every subset of A cross B is nothing but the relation from A to B. As there are 2 to the power m into n different subsets for A cross B, then there are 2 to the power m into n distinct relations from set A to set B. Okay, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let us see what is an inverse relation. Inverse relation. Let capital R be a relation from A to B. The inverse of relation R is is denoted by R to the power minus 1, that is R inverse, and and defined as R inverse contains all the elements y comma x such that y belonging to B, x belonging to A, and xy is an element of relation R. Okay. So if R be a relation from set A to set B, then the inverse relation of R is denoted by this symbol R to the power minus 1, that is R inverse, and is defined as R inverse contains all the ordered pairs yx such that this y is belonging to B, x is belonging to A whenever xy is an element of R. That is, if xy are any element of R, then yx are the elements of R inverse. For example, if suppose let capital A be a set which contains 3 elements small a, small b, and small c, and capital B be a set which contains the elements 1, 2, and 3. Now we will define one relation R. That is relation R which contains the elements A1, A3, B3, and C3. Okay, so as this one is a subset of A cross B, then it must be a relation. And here we have two sets A and B and one relation R having 4 elements A1, A3, B3, and C3. Now we have to find out its R inverse. What is R inverse? R inverse contains all the ordered pairs yx such that y is belonging to B, x is belonging to A whenever xy is belonging to R. Therefore, R inverse contains as A and 1 is belonging to R. That is, this one is x, this one is y. Then R inverse contains the elements y and x. First, we have to take y as 1 and x as A second. Similarly, for this one x, this one y. Therefore, we get 3 comma A. This will be x, this will be y. Third element is 3 comma B, and fourth element this one x, this one y, which is 3 comma C. Therefore, this will be the inverse relation of a given relation R. Okay, so in this way we can find out the inverse of a given relation just by interchanging the elements of x, y. Okay. Now, next definition: relations in a set. A relation in a set. What is a relation in a set? Let capital R be a relation from A to B. Relation from A to B. If B equal to A, that is, if R is a relation from A to A, then we can't read it as, it as R is relation from A to A. But we say that R is a relation in set A. In set A. Okay. So if R is any relation from A to B and B is nothing but the set A itself, then we can't read this relation R as it is a relation from A to A, but we say that it is a relation in a set A, since it is a relation from A to A. So thus a relation thus a relation a relation in a set A cross A or a set A is a subset of the Cartesian product A cross. Okay, since if R is a relation from A to B, then it is a subset of A cross B. As here R is a relation in set A, that is it is a relation from set A to set A, then it is a subset of A cross A. Now, depending on this definition, we have to define what is the identity relation. Identity relation. Let capital A identity relation in a set A. Okay, now we have to see all the relations which are defined on a set A to A. Okay, so here we have to define what is the identity relation in a set A. Let capital A be any set. The relation IA defined by IA, which contains all the ordered pairs xy whenever x is belonging to A, y is belonging to A, and x is equal to y, is called the identity relation in a set A. Okay. So what is identity relation in a set A? If capital A be any set, then the relation I, which is defined from A to A, and which having elements are nothing but it contains all the ordered pair xy such that x is belonging to A, y is belonging to A, and x and y are same. These elements are only present in corresponding relation IA, then the corresponding relation is called as a identity relation in a set A. For example, if capital A is a set which contains the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and if suppose we have to find out its identity relation, then what is its identity relation? It contains all the ordered pairs xy such that x and y both are the elements of A, and x must be equal to y. From this one, IA is nothing but here we have to take all the elements xy, that is either the elements x and y belonging to these 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there is one restriction. In each case x must be equal to y. So if we choose x equal to 1, then we have to take y is also 1. So first element is 1, 1. Second element, if choose x equal to 2, y equal to 2, 2, 2. Similarly for 3, 3, 4, 4, and 5, 5. 4, 4, and 5, 5. And we have to take all such elements only, since here there is a condition x, and we have to take the x and y which are members of A such that x must be equal to y. These elements only are present in IA. All the remaining elements are not present in the identity relation. Therefore, as A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it contains only those elements which are same, that is whose first element and second element is same, 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 and 5 comma 5. Now next definition, which is a universal relation in a set A. Universal relation in a set A. Let capital A be any set. The relation, if the relation R, if the relation R is the set A cross A, then R is called universal relation in set A. Universal relation in a set A. Set Okay, so if we have any set A and our relation R is nothing but the set A cross A itself, then the such a relation is called as a universal relation. That since A cross A is the largest set of a given largest subset of A cross A, and if R is the whole set A cross A, then R is called the universal relation. Similarly, if void relation in a set A, void relation in a set capital. What is a void relation? Now, as we know that every subset of A cross A is a relation in set A. It's a relation in set A. And again we know that phi is a subset of every set, as phi is subset of A cross E. Since whatever will be a set, phi is always a subset of that corresponding set. As here A cross A is a subset, then phi must be a subset of A cross A. Therefore, phi is also a relation in A. Also a relation in A. Such a relation is called a void relation. Okay, so if we have one set A, then every subset of A cross A is a relation in a set A. As empty set is a subset of every set, then it also forms one relation in a set A. Such a relation is called as a void relation or empty relation in a set A. Okay. Now, in last lecture, there is one problem for property 6, that is A union B complement is nothing but A complement intersection B complement. That is the sixth property. Up to fifth property there is no problem, but for sixth property the screen is not visible. Okay, so if suppose we have to prove A union B complement is nothing but A complement intersection B complement. So there we have taken one element X which is belonging to A union B complement. As it not belonging to A union B complement, it means it is belonging to A union D. Okay. So as X is not belonging to A union B complement, then as X is not belonging to A union B complement, it means it is belonging to A union B. But here we have taken X is belonging to A union B complement. As X is belonging to A union B complement, then we know that A intersection its complement must be equal to 5. That is, there is no element common in between these two sets, A and A complement. As here we have taken X is an element which is belonging to complement. As it is belonging to complement, there it implies that it is not belonging to the set A union B. Since it is belonging to its complement and there is no element common in between the two sets A union B and A union B complement, therefore X is not belonging to A union B. And if X is not belonging to A union B, then conversely we can write it is belonging to A union B complement. But by definition of union, as X is not a member of A union B, then it is not belonging to both the sets A and B. Therefore X is not belonging to A and X is not belonging to B. Now again, X is an element which is not belonging to A and which is not a member of B also. Therefore, it must be belonging to its complements. X is belonging to A complement and X is belonging to B complement. But by the definition of intersection, as X is an element which is common in between both the sets A and B, then X must be belonging to its intersection, which implies X belonging to A complement intersection B complement. Therefore, here we have taken one element X, which is in between A union B complement and which is belonging to A complement intersection B complement. Then, by the definition of subset, this A union B complement is a subset of A complement intersection B complement, which implies A union B complement is subset of A complement intersection B complement. But these steps are if and only if. Therefore, if we can write X is belonging to A complement intersection B complement, then we get X is belonging to A union B complement. And also, A complement intersection B complement is a subset of A union B complement. Again, we know that one property, if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, which implies A must be equal to B. So here A union B complement is subset of A complement intersection B complement, and A complement intersection B complement is subset of A union B complement, which implies both are same. And that is we have to prove, and hence the required result. And similarly we can write A intersection B complement is nothing but A complement union B complement. So in this way we can show these 6 properties. Okay. After that we have defined one definition, that is Cartesian product of two sets. Cartesian product of two sets. Let capital A and B be two sets. A and B be two sets. Then AB is called ordered pair. Ordered pair. Okay. Now the object A is called the first coordinate of the ordered pair AB. Ordered pair AB, and object small b is called the second coordinate of the ordered pair AB. Of the ordered pair okay. So if we have two sets, then the elements of the type this AB is called the ordered pairs, in which the object small a is called the first coordinate of the ordered pair AB, and the object small b is called the second coordinate of the ordered pair AB. If AB and CD are two ordered pairs, if AB and CD are two ordered pairs, ordered pairs. Then ordered pair AB is equal to ordered pair CD if and only if A equal to C and B equal to D. Okay, so if we have two ordered pairs AB and CD, then these two ordered pairs are equal, that is AB equal to CD if and only if the first coordinate of the ordered pair AB is equal to the first coordinate of the ordered pair CD and the second coordinate of the ordered pair AB is equal to the second coordinate of the ordered pair CD. Then only it is possible that the corresponding ordered pairs are equal, otherwise it is not possible. For example, the ordered pairs 2 5 and 2 5 are equal. 5 are equal. Since here 2 is equal to 2 and 5 is equal to 5, but the ordered pairs 2 5 and 5 2 are not equal. Are not equal. Since 2 is not equal to 5 and 5 is not equal to 3. 2 is not equal to 5 and 5 is not equal to 2. Then by the definition of equality of two ordered pair, these two ordered pairs are not equal. Now let us see what is the actual definition of the Cartesian product. Okay. Let A and B be two sets. If A and B are two sets, the set of all distinct ordered pairs whose first coordinate is an element of A and whose second coordinate is an element of B, whose coordinate is an element of B is called the Cartesian product of A and B. Of A and B. Okay, so what is the Cartesian product of two sets A and B? If suppose we have two sets A and B, then the Cartesian product of A and B is nothing but the set of all the distinct ordered pairs whose first element is element of capital A and whose second element is an element of a set capital B. Such a collection, such a distinct collection is nothing but the Cartesian product of two sets A and B. And symbolically we can write it as Cartesian product of two sets A cross B is nothing but it contains all the ordered pairs AB such that this small a is belonging to A and small a is belonging to capital A and small b is belonging to B. So such a set collection or such a collection is called as a Cartesian product. Okay, for example, let us see if A equal to 1 2 3 and B equal to A B C, then the Cartesian product of A cross B contains all those elements, that is the collection of distinct ordered pairs. First we have to take 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, to C. Similarly, 3A, 3B, and 3C. So these are the only possible ordered pairs from set A to set B. Okay. Any doubt?